Thank you very much for being part of the program again today. My name is Dakbo Aruajue. We will continue with what we started yesterday. That's the screening of the ministerial nominees. But today is the D-Day. Today, the screening per se starts. So we will be linking up with Abuja for live updates of the screening. As at now, the information that we have is that the senators are seated. So the plenary is going to commence very, very soon. But in the meanwhile, before we link up with Abuja, I need to introduce my guest in the studio. I have Dr. Dotun Adedeji. He's a public affairs analyst and also a commentator. Thank you very much, Doctor, for being part of the program. Thank you very much. And also Honorable Ikwola Omishore is a former member of the Lagos House of Assembly. Thank you very much, Honorable.
Good morning, Nigerians.
For being part of the program.
Thank you.
Like you heard the audio, the senators are taking their seats. So the commencement, we'll have the commencement soon. But before we go to the Senate, the pictures we have here shows it's going to be a big business today. But before we go to Abuja, let's start by saying over the weekend, or sorry, yesterday, we are getting live visuals. I've said that already. We're getting live visuals from the Senate, yes. So now the business has started, really, the screening. Everybody's complete now. I think there was this argument that if you don't have the full list, the PDPs were saying if you don't have the full list, we are not going to start the screening. So now we have the full list. So we're ready for business. What do you think?
Look, honestly, I think is when people do not understand their responsibility that they find reasons to sidetrack it. Whether the list is, does the Constitution say it has to submit the whole list of ministers at the same time? That's nothing that stipulates that. A man has a choice to choose when he wants to. It doesn't mean that it will take a lifetime, but to then say that they will not begin screening because the 36 or whatever number, is absolutely irresponsible. That's my own assumption of it. And for the man who even raises it, he shows a mockery. These people do not have understanding of what they're doing. The man has said, I'm saying a part list. And then you got up to say, oh, we're only seeing a part list. That's for me.
They're looking at the principle of federal character.
Yeah.
Everybody has to be represented.
Look, that we have to change. I don't think we need all those kind of distractions. So because of that, you pack the whole cabinet full of maybe 40-some people to satisfy federal character. And then all kind of characters also find their way into the cabinet. All those things we need to change.
Okay. Honorable, the fear, some people, there used to be a fear that Buhari will not have 36 senators because he wants to cut cost. So the fear of pruning now should be overlooked, or what do you think? Because now we should be having 36 nominees today, and the screening will start soon. So for the doubting Thomases, so they shouldn't have any doubt again that Buhari is not going to have 36 senators, or what do you think?
I think it's clear that the constitutional provisions has not changed. And if you are following the Constitution, Buhari, I'm sure, is forced to have 36. Left to him, he will have pruned down, but the Constitution has already, handicapped him from being able to do anything of such. But so far, so good. Every state of the Federation is being represented. Those who say they will not do this, will not do that, they now see that it is done. But I just want to say that we legislators or parliamentarians, we are actors. We grandstand to let those who vote for us see us talking. And that's why the man talked. Okay. And it's now a reality that we have 36. It's now left for them to start to do the job.
Okay.
And Nigerians are watching whether they are going to do it and do it well. Nigerians
are going to be watching, really, because yes. We are going to be going to Abuja. It's a live feed today. So let's get to hear what is happening presently.
Those in favor that we do move into a closed session, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Thank you very much.
Distinguished colleagues, please move
Sergeant,
forward.
are you clear?
Okay. Presently, they don't have anything important doing, so we will definitely link up back when we start getting feeds of something important. Okay. Senate Committee on Ethics yesterday had two of the ministerial nominees present, maybe to come answer petitions against them. And we're talking about Rotimi Amechi and also Amina Ibrahim. And let us start with Rotimi Amechi. Now, I think the Ethics Committee is saying no, for now, no case against Amechi because the case is in court.
That is, proceedings against him will stop because they do not want to go against the court proceeding. So they will wait and then hear what the court will say on the matter before they can take that up. Whether that then says they cannot be screened or not, we don't know. But obviously, screening should continue. Honestly, I don't see any reason why they should then stop screening him or whatever. It should be screened. And there's a need to call him back and answer things, then he will answer. But you see, for me, some of the petitions are absolutely frivolous. I mean, I watched it and I said to myself, is it democracy taken to an elastic limit that people do not even understand what to do? If I just look at Amechi, why was a panel set up that was like, for me, a kangaroo panel? Because it was so obvious. If only you want to do something right, you call the man, this is it. The man said the money was saved. The last assembly appropriated for it, and then they got the money done and spent because he saved the money.
70 billion.
It was even 53 billion. Okay. Now they started adding all kinds of things. Look, honestly, politics should rise above this kind of pettiness. It is Nigeria we're talking about. It's not about individuals. So for me, look, honestly, it's not that I want to stand by. For a country that is serious, who will vote the gentleman in Rivers State as a governor? Because antecedent should speak. He was Minister of Education. We had the longest strike in the history of this country. And yet he's been promoted in court to be a governor. What is the yardstick for all this kind of silliness that we do? I think we just need to get serious in this country. You can have your political differences, but think about national interest. Look at other countries that practice democracy. That's what they do. I may have my personal grounds with you, but when it comes to a national, I subsume my personal for it. So I think calling Amechi to go. I like what the Honorable said. He said we legislators are actors. Obviously, you can see it. They're just acting a script that is too. Look, Nigerians have gone beyond that. I don't know whether you read a book called Who Moved My Cheese? We have moved the cheese of these people a long time. They don't seem to understand it. By the election of Buhari, we have moved their cheese. But they're still sitting locked down in yesterday, thinking that we are going to waste time with them. We don't have time for those kind of frivolities. We want to move this. Look, other countries that are doing well, they're not better than us in terms of intellectual people, in terms of resources. We are ahead. Yes. But why do we have people who are so shell-logged into yesterday that they do not understand that yesterday ended last night?
Let me get to hear Honorable Bola Omishoro on this. As for now, they said the petition has to suspend the hearing, or how do I put it? Yeah, the hearing until the case in court has been heard. What about if the case in court says something negative or rules negative against the gentleman Amechi? I'm
not even sure they are right in the action they are trying to take. You cannot debar the progress of somebody because of frivolous petition, and like you say, kangaroo rushing is question to the answer quickly. A quickly packaged tribunal, what do you call it, a probe, a quickly written report, written to meet the deadline of the assembly, the National Assembly or Senate. Looking at the man's this thing, I reckon that vendetta is not good anywhere. A former council chairman of a governor, a former chief of staff to somebody, now rising up to sabotage his boss. Wow. He won't succeed, but I know that the senators, at the end of the day, they will see the light and they will correct whatever it is. They can't stop the man.
So it's going to be screened.
I can tell you it's going to be screened. It's a political delay. In politics, you play games. It's a game that people and elders of this country will talk to them and they will know what to do. Amechi will be screened. Amechi was a director general of the campaign committee. Amechi was a governor. one of the best states in Nigeria. So whoever has taken over think that can rubbish in the immediate past should also know that somebody is also coming behind. And who is even telling him that the electoral tribunal
will not throw him out.
Will not even throw him out. So let's wait and see.
Wow. Okay, what about the madam, Amina Ibrahim? There was this hula baloo about she's not from Kaduna, she's from Gombe.
For me, it was the most reckless when I listened, because fortunately it was screened live. The woman said, look, a list came out. I was told I'll be a ministerial appointee. Nothing was said about my state. And so I don't understand why I'm here.
The petitioner was
the
even
petitioner
asked.
was even there. They now asked him, he said, look, I was reacting to social media, which shows an absolute responsibility. The social media does not represent the presidency. Presidency said, this is the list of people that I'm sending. The presidency did not put anything against anybody's name. So the woman said, look, I'm surprised to be here. Who says she's not representing Gombe? Is there another person in Gombe on the list or whatever? Or who says the president cannot decide to take 2 people from a state? Who says? He has the liberty, the constitutional liberty.
To do that.
To do that.
But when the petitioner was asked later, he said it was anticipatory.
Anticipatory. I mean, you can then understand. You see how people play. You just come and make a mess of yourself on TV. That you're only anticipating that in case they put her in Gobi, what if the man says, I've chosen her on a personal capacity? Yes. Are you going to fight it? Even if he's from Kaduna? Look, honestly, let's get serious in this country. For me, the guy looked so silly when he was asked, and then they asked him, they said, on what basis? He said, I saw it on social media. Oh, are you then saying anticipatory? He said anticipatory.
So she has scaled through.
A senator that's not what he sought, as if he has no research personnel. As if you cannot even find out. They are only reversing the gains of democracy. Absolutely. There was once upon a time, Janet Akinade was a commissioner in Plateau.
Akabu is a commissioner in Lagos.
Is a commissioner in Lagos.
Yes.
Nobody says they are taking away the interest of Fakojaye or Badagry. I think, you know, some of them are trainee senators. And that particular one need to be trained. You need to be sent on the training for 1 year and come back to the Senate. It's a mockery to call that man a senator. Is distinguished. It's an undistinguished person. So I think history should have it against his name. That once upon a time we had a senator that was not what they sought. Okay,
apart from the 2 you've mentioned now, I don't think there's anybody that has got petition against his name again.
All kinds of noise, but nothing documented.
But there shouldn't be any delay. Nigerians are warned. There shouldn't be any delays to confirm these ministers. Or what do you think, gentlemen?
Look, honestly, for me, I do not see a name there that needs to be pushed aside. And some people said, oh, he thought he was going to bring an angel. He never promised to bring angels to be ministers. He only said he would choose men that can work with me, that I trust, that have proven probity.
But some people are saying young men too can be trusted.
Look, let me be very frank with you. I was telling my brother this morning when we spoke. Show me, I said on a platform that I belong, just point to me 5 young men in Nigeria that you think should be a minister. Is it the people that went to give Buhari'S award that you put as ministers? Or the people that went to demonstrate in Abuja that leave Desiani also, and people who speak that leave Alamire say, oh, is our hero? Are those the kind of people that we put as? Look, honestly, our morals have gone way downwards, so southwards, that we don't know what good looks like. And it gets me really, really. Look, it is not age. Sanders, that is running for American presidency, is 74. He will be 75 if he becomes president.
But it's not that bad that we don't have 1 or 2 young people. Is it that bad?
No, not that it's that bad. But the thing is, show me where you want me to put him. It's not that it's that bad. And nobody knows what... Look, what people forget, everybody is clamoring after a ministerial position. There are technical positions that are still available in this country. If it's going to consider this, let's say, Economic Advisory Committee, if it's going to do that, who are the people that is going to be there? You understand what I'm saying? So these are some of the people, the eggheads, and people that be there.
So you think age comes...
I still have reservations. I'm not quite happy that we don't have a good percentage of youth there.
And even women also.
forget women.
Why should we forget women?
I'm not saying that women should not be there. They are there already.
Okay.
But we don't have youths.
Okay,
there.
at all.
The number can be very low for women, but the youths are not there. And I am very disturbed that we don't have a sizable number, even if it's small, because we have to groom people. But I realize that we are like a wartime cabinet.
Absolutely.
We are coming up from the ruins of 16-year rule of PDP. And now we need somebody that are proven. And I reckon that midway into this cabinet, to this tenure, they will introduce some youths. But I want the youths to be rest assured that they cannot be forgotten by the president.
Okay, we need experienced hands.
We have over 6,000 political appointments to make. I know that the man is jittery. He doesn't want failure. He doesn't want to start to test people that will disappoint. We have tested some women. They let us down. They are richer than the country. We have tested some youths also. They let us down. But I want the president to know that he must groom successors. He must, even in America, you have young ones, under secretary and all that. Let him bring the young ones. Let them understudy so that when these people go away, there's no excuse again for old people to come again. So they must be trained. I think whoever is close to the president should tell him that he must, the next in line to ministers must be the young ones. Okay. So that we can prepare them for 2019.
Okay. So he said the president is jittery. He doesn't want to fail. So he needs experienced hands initially.
I like what he said about being at a war zone, in quotes. This is not the time for experiment. Oh, I want to test this young man whether I can perform. Let the young man feel a vacuum created in the mid-sector. If, for instance, the Economic Advisory Committee, we have people from the Economic Council and all this and that, they are the ones for tomorrow that you begin to watch. You know, I have an attitude about this thing. I've worked with a lot of young people, if I can say that. I was reading something that happened in University of Ife. The student union president says he wants to spend 2 million on recharge cards between now and January. And then you begin to look around you. I don't want to mention names. There are young people who are floating, who are in Jonathan's. We know what the disaster they visited upon this country. And this is not the time to come and put a man that values today are, honestly, for me, they are below zero. And people lack character. You can't put a man that is colorless and has no character in positions of trust. And then you begin to change him every six months because you want to test.
Do you think the old people still have their trust in them, the integrity they had then? Do they still have it in them?
You mean the people that have been chosen
old
now?
Ones, the ones that have been chosen now.
You know, another thing that the way I look at this thing, the head is very important. You know what people don't understand, that what Buhari is doing in this period that he hasn't chosen and people is laying a foundation. If you're going to work with me, watch me. You can't step out of line if you're going to work with me. People think you should just run there. You see, without basic guidelines as to how to work, anybody comes there to do what they like. Now they know what he wants. They know how he wants. So there are code of ethics, code guiding people coming in. So you can't step out of line with him. For him, stealing is corruption, is absolute corruption, and you know it. The moment he catches your hand in the till, he sends you away. Look at his liaison person. He threw him away straight to go and be an ambassador or something. You can't do what I want. And he has not hidden his agenda as to his own stand. And I think that it will be the compass to anybody who comes to work with him.
Okay, do you reckon age will not be a barrier to all these people when we're talking about the speed they need to go? You know, we have a lot to do in this country. See, we have a long way to go. Do you think age will not be a barrier?
I'm telling you, experience is the thing. Look at the former Buhari, throwing people to jail, lock people. The result he got there was less than what he's getting now because of maturity. People are sorry, they are even bringing the money as we learned. Things are changing. So the Yoruba says, what the dog sees, I'm backing. It's saying that the sheep will see and look cool and they achieve the same result. So I think we are not running 100-meter race. It's governance. And we look at Buhari, it took time before assembling these people. What he has done was to set a template for every ministry. Trust civil servants. They will give you low down about every ministry. You just come in there, you find a template to run. I think we will get results. Yeah. Reason why, number one, some of them are already comfortable. Some of them already have names. The remaining part of their life, they won't want it to be destroyed. And they have been in office before. They know the corners, they know the dark corners, they know the banana peel on the floor. Young men will just rush in and forward. They are banana peel in government. I was at the House Assembly, I was the oldest. And we have young honorable members of 34, 35. We keep calling them behind, say, don't do this, don't do that. And we help them. So those people there, like I said, they are wartime cabinet members who will reshape this country and not bring a template for the future. I will be disappointed if any of them slipped. Okay,
we'll go to what Nigerians should expect from these gentlemen and women. But you remember that time that they kept on saying the president is a president for the northern people alone, that in this cabinet he's going to have all the people from the north. What do you think about the coloration in this cabinet now? Is it well balanced?
You see, one thing for me, even then, when people spoke about lopsided, I didn't agree, and I have my reasons. A time was coming in this country when we jettisoned traditional ways of thinking. Oh, he's my brother. Show me anybody who had a minister in their village, who was a minister, and anything happened in the village.
Anything good?
Anything good. Or what did he, because he came from that village, he carried the university there. You can't. The thing is, we must begin to have a template for national governance. It's not sectional or ethnic consideration and coloration. For me, get this job done. I'm not saying it should be sensitive enough to know, but I don't think it was that less sensitive to be packing the whole place. Of the people that people are complaining about, who came from his village? Who is Buhari's brother? Who is nephew? He was choosing, he was blind to all those kind of things. He was just looking for people that would do, and he said these people are the people that will be, who will be head of state and choose the chief of staff to be from a state that they can kill you or something. I'm just giving that analogy. We all need to be very careful. If they sabotage his government, we voted for him, we didn't vote for the CSO.
But with the list,
I think there's a mixed up now.
Do you think it's balanced also?
No, I mean, since it's every state having one, so
what else do we want?
So what else do we want?
And that's true. Every state should have
every
one.
state has one. I think what we will be looking at is composition of the cabinet. Whether the juiciest one goes to, and I want to tell you that, like Doctor said, you cannot even use your position the way you want. So Nigerians, we should grow above that. Good governance. Look at Goodluck Jonathan. He was president for almost 7.5 years or 8 years. He could not clean the mess at his area. Buhari came now and said, look,
clean it up.
Ogoni.
That United Nations report, implement to the letter. And they say, they carry placards say, the Buhari is more Ogoni than our brother. So it shows that when you want to be good, where you come from does not matter.
Okay, let's talk about, you know, we have names, but we don't have roles. We don't have designation for these people. What's your own take in that? Right about now, we should be having maybe Babatunde Rajifashola for so place. So people will have, even the ministers will have at the back of their mind, the kind of questions to ask.
You know, for me, that is lifting governance to a different level. It makes more sense to me, that query, than to say, where is he from? Because, for instance, I think we should grow to a point in which when we're choosing a minister, we can say, this is the area it will work. And people can then say, in asking him questions as Senate, you're asking relevant questions to where he will serve. For me, that is what Senate should even be asking, not all these two senators from your state. So totally pedestrian. I mean, gosh, we need to begin to think. Our reflection in this country is too shallow, and we begin to run after small things. I will be worried about where these people will serve. That is my own, because I've seen that about 5 lawyers. Who is going to be Attorney General? Does he have a feeling that if he makes somebody Attorney General, somebody else will be Minister for Justice? Akeredolu, if it's true, it's going to be Malami is there. Udo Udoma is a lawyer, and all those. So what's going to happen? For me, those are the thinking. Igige is a doctor. There are 2 other doctors, Hinari. And so what's going to happen? That should be the preoccupation of people that are thinking above elevated pedestrian levels. Not all this is Yoruba. He comes from my village. He doesn't have a car punch. No. For me, going further, I think in next dispensation, we should be looking at that. Marrying names to where they will serve, so that we then know expectations.
Honorable, what do you think?
I think it amounts to timidity on the part of our parliament. By now, we should be asking. I was in the House of Assembly, and it's a thing that we cry about. Of what use is you asking a man who's going to become a Minister of Justice about a Greek?
Yes.
Or a general knowledge? I think, you know, if I were the Senate President, I will return that list back to the President to affix titles. Yeah. Because what are they going to dare to do? They are just boasting, you know. If you don't get your master to ask you correct question, you cannot give correct answer. To me, by this generation we are, they should be asking for that. In fact, it amounts to laziness on their part not to challenge the executive to do what is right. They should have returned that list. With Nigerians today, we don't need trial by error again. I mean, and on the Attorney General thing, I think the Constitution is still unchanged.
Okay, about that.
I mean, in America, I think they separated the two.
Yes.
In Nigeria, we joined the two to Attorney General and Minister of Justice. I think the Minister of Justice should be on his own. Attorney General is a serious executive affair.